Hey, Andover Black, sixth grade parents. Just want to kind of take a minute to go over some of the offensive principles that I'm going to start to implement. I'll probably add more as the season goes on, but just try to keep things as simple as possible and easy to understand. I want to do a quick tutorial so you can kind of help the boys outside of practice study this a little bit, get a good understanding of what the movements are going to be. So hopefully by the time practice comes, they have a good idea and we can just kind of use that time to iron out the kinks more or less. Okay, so what we essentially are going to run here is kind of a variation of the 5-out offense. So how I run it is I have our 5 positions around the 3-point line. Even numbers, I go basically on my right side. So here we've got the 2 position and the 4 in the corner. Left side, we're going to go odd numbers, so I'll have the 3 and the 5. Okay, so that's how we start with our general spacing. And so the reason I do that, we don't have a lot of height. Hopefully I can capitalize on some quickness, but I want to open up this lane, get their defenders out of there so we have lanes for quick back cuts, quick drives, things like that. So the variation that I'm going to start teaching the boys is going to be kind of just really a basic pick and roll system. So one will come up, simply find a number that they want to call out. Ideally, what we're kind of looking for here is mismatches or weaknesses in the defense we can take advantage of. So let's say 1 comes down and he calls out 2. So 2 comes up and screens. Hopefully it's a great screen. They don't switch. 1 has an opportunity to take that screen and go right to the basket for a layup. Again, hopefully the defenders are out here and he's got a chance to cut in there before they can come out and help. Otherwise, what we want is if 1 starts using that screen and the defender sneaks through it, we want 2 to be able to seal that defender off and roll to the basket. What we're hoping to get here then as a secondary look is the dump in to 2 for a layup or some shot inside. If we're not able to get that, what we want is 2 to continue on clearing out here. 1 will basically dribble down and take 2's place. 3 will rotate up, looking for a pass opportunity. 5 rotates up to where 3 was. So now what we'd be looking at is 1's here, 3's come up, 5 has jumped up, 2 has gone from their position over here, cut through, now they're in the corner. Our next option, 1 has a chance to go either 3 or 4. Let's say he calls out 4. 4 then comes up, so that's a screen, again. Hopefully 1 has an opportunity to cut into the basket for a layup. If not, 4 is going to seal and roll. 1's dribbling down, looking for the cut there, looking for the layup. If they don't get that, again, what we're going to have is 4 is going to come on all the way through. 3 is going to come down, replace, 5 replace, 2 replace. So again, the whole concept is that we always need to kind of end up back in these spaces. We need to bring the defense out and create lanes for drives and baskets. So now what we've essentially got is this. 1's got the ball down here in the corner. Okay, we don't want 3 to screen anymore for 1 because they're kind of limited, right? They can only really go this way. I mean, it can happen, but typically I don't like to do that because I want the 1 to have the option of driving right or left off that screen and having that screener kind of set up and have a little bit of confusion or trickery on which way they're going to set the screen. So what I want in this case, if 1 gets down here, 3 needs to recognize that. 3 needs to hard back cut. Hopefully you get them for a pass. If not, no worries. 1 dribbles back up here. 3 then V cuts out. Now all we've got is again 1, 3, and then again we can either go and rescreen here or we can have 5 screen. Doesn't really matter. So as I mentioned, kind of looking for mismatches right here on the defense. So let's say we've got really small, quick, speedy guard right here. Kind of got a bigger, slower player guarding our 4. Let's say 1 comes down, realizes we've kind of got a mismatch there. So ideally what we'd like to do here then, call 4. 4 is going to come up, set the screen. If it's a great screen, awesome, he gets in. What we kind of want to happen is to create switches. So if it's a good enough screen, hopefully this defender's coming up, switching. Now they're going to take 1, okay, and this little guard It's kind of stuck taking 4. Okay, so then what we want to happen is 4 comes up, they seal and they roll. So then at that point 1 can call out post, something like that. Now 4 has got that small guard on their back. We pop it into 4. They can go to work down here. If defense helps out, they can kick out, etc., etc. Or if 1 feels like they have a good advantage here because they've got this slow player on them, right? What do we do? 4 comes up. They don't get it right here. That's fine. All we're going to have them do is kind of come right back out here where they started. And then we're going to kind of ISO and have 1 be able to maybe hopefully take that slower player off the dribble. Pull up shot, step back shot, drive, whatever it may be. But the key here is when these corners come up to screen, these wings immediately have to go down. Okay, so they fill, and that spacing remains intact. So I guess in this example, like I was telling you before, forward screen, they don't get it, then maybe they just want to pop out to where that player 2 originally was. Again, it's all about making sure we have somebody in each of these spaces, because then if things get discombobulated, you just find the open space, you navigate out there, and we're all set up again. So that's kind of the basic foundation of the offense we're going to kind of start running. Any questions, give me a call, and we'll go through it. Thank you.